All right, got you set up on the tripod and we're here. First off, good morning. I am Reed Patridge. I'm the owner of Work Turbo, and we're a small family business, me, my wife, and my brother. Here in Birmingham, Alabama, we've been doing this for 28 years, and I love Buicks. I love turbos. Buick turbos. Guys, first off, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Second off, this is a interactive video, or not video, but interactive content for you. In the comments down below, you have questions, please ask them. I will answer them, and we will get you guys on track. This is the first of a video series that I am starting off for the Buick world. It's a private video. It's only going to be shared in the Buick community, so we hopefully will just collect like-minded Buick guys in the comments, and I think this is going to be really, really helpful for everybody, including me. Why is it helpful for me? Because I'm the turbo builder. I can't exist without you, and I want to build you guys the very best product that I possibly can that fits your needs and your goals. So this video is going to be absolutely Turbo 101 for the Buick new guy, or for the Buick old guy that has a need for what we're about to talk about. I understand that the Buick community is growing. We have a lot of old timers that have been around it way longer than I have, and we got guys that just bought their Buick yesterday. I literally talked to a customer yesterday. It's 2 days before Christmas, and this guy got his Christmas present. He's been wanting one. He's 50 years old. He's wanted one since he was in high school. Sounds familiar. I bought my Grand National in 1994, right as I got out of high school, and I started this business basically built around it in 1998. And I love them. I love the community. Y'all guys some of you are my family, and some of you guys are some of my best friends that I'll ever have. The Buick community is a tight-knit group. We stick together, and that is why this video has to happen, because we have some things we have to talk about. And I have to be the one that orchestrates this conversation, because this falls right into my wheelhouse. It's turbo stuff. So without any more blabbling, I'm going to go turn the camera down on some turbo parts, and we're going to talk about some things. We got some pretty serious stuff to discuss, some pretty light things to laugh about, and I hope all of this content just works out for y'all guys great. Okay, on the table, I have a TA49. If you guys are new, you've probably heard this turbo being recommended to you many, many times over. Just buy a TA49. Go get a TA49. Oh, your TA49 is your best choice. My granddad ran a TA49. It was awesome. That was the fastest car I ever rode in. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and say it. The TA49 is a legacy turbo. It is old technology, but it has its place. Why does it have a place in the Buick community? It has its place in the Buick community because it's familiar. Buick guys are comfortable with it. This is the heart of the TA49. This is the T04E 60 trim compressor wheel, and it gets mated with a T31, T3 high flow, or stage 3 exhaust wheel. This compressor wheel was originally developed for Navistar back in the 80s, diesel application, and it found its way into a Grand National turbo probably before the Buick ever rolled off the assembly line. Somebody in Garrett was like, man, that Buick's going to be hot, but it needs a bigger turbo on it, because, you know, the factory turbo is, you know, I mean, hey, it's not that unimpressive, but, you know, if big's good, bigger's better, right? All right, so the TA49 was born, and people started making computer programs, chips, injectors, pumps, tuning strategies. They got familiar with this compressor wheel. Nothing wrong with that. This wheel was great at its time. There was nothing else better that you could get from Garrett reasonably at or with any type of volume. So yeah, it has its place. The sad part about it is this wheel is dying in Garrett. They don't make them anymore. Then when they do, well, I say they don't make them routinely. The last batch of these wheels took me 6 months to get, and they are just shy of 300% more expensive than when I bought them in 2015. So we have a problem that makes this turbo more expensive, harder to get parts for, and possibly not sustainable in the future. That is unacceptable to me. So what have I done? We're going to make this short and sweet. I do have a supply of these wheels. I'm going to keep them around. I'm going to build TA49s if you have to have one. If you need yours serviced and you want a genuine Garrett compressor wheel back in it, I've got you covered. It's not cheap. My website is going to say call for pricing and availability. That's just how it's going to have to be. But Reed, the TA49 is great. My car is already tuned for it. I tore mine up. I need exactly that. I don't have the money to go buy another chip or go back to the dyno, or I like the performance of it so much. It's just perfect for me. Well, Reed has saved you. I've had the TA49 blade architecture copied as closely as possible in a billet compressor wheel. It completely drops right into place of the cast wheel with no extra machine work. Nothing. It just drops in. It took every bit of my being not to make this wheel drastically better, but I made this wheel as close to a carbon copy performance-wise as this one just for y'all guys, so you don't have to go out of your comfort zone if you don't want to. Is this turbo the best choice for the first turbo you're going to buy for your build? You've got all this list of stuff. You got your downpipe picked out. You got your computer chip. You got your injectors, your pump, your air intake kit. You've got everything laid out, but you need to buy a turbo. Is the TA49 what you need to buy? No. You don't even need to think about it. That's a hard pill to swallow for a lot of us legacy guys who have sentimental attachments to it. But the truth is that wheel is dated. And in today's world, we can do much better. How much better? Well, Reed, that's another cast compressor wheel that looks a lot like the TA49 wheel. Well, it is a cast wheel, but this wheel has some design attributes to it that are way better than the Garrett 60 trim. This is essentially a Garrett GT trim compressor wheel. So GT technology is Garrett's next step up from T-Series technology. So T04E, this is GT37. So what this compressor wheel is it's a 1.5 millimeter smaller inducer. It is better aero. It is more efficient. It spools faster. It will make more boost pressure more efficiently, therefore giving you more horsepower. This wheel walks circles around this one. Yes, it will take a little bit of tuning on your chip, and it will reward you with your efforts with a more modern compressor. This wheel is going to be available. I'm going to list all the details on my website shortly after the new year on it. And we're going to offer it in all the popular configurations. So TA, so stock appearing, and also TE, so still a bolt-on compressor housing, still fits to your intercooler, your air intake pipe. We can still do it with an internal actuator, but it's a higher flowing housing. So if you want even more power, we've got you covered. You want one step up from that? I've pushed the envelope a little bit into a reasonably cost billet compressor wheel as well that is of the same geometry. So we can give you in a TE housing or a TA housing even more airflow. All right, so these guys here, these are going to take injector chip, transmission, at least a shift kit and a trans cooler and all that. These wheels make horsepower. These wheels you don't even need to think about them until you're wanting more than 425 flywheel horsepower all the time. All right, so that's it doesn't sound like a lot of horsepower in today's world. Don't get caught up in it. Buicks don't care. Buicks are the redheaded stepchild or the black sheep of the world. They make torque. They do things they're not supposed to do with such low power numbers. That's why we love these cars. They just are an all-around great combo. So don't get wrapped up in a turbo that makes 550 horsepower if you're going to keep a stock camshaft and a stock torque converter. We need to do something better. This is probably not your choice. This guy here and this guy here, and even the TA49, and we'll go ahead and throw it under the bus, even the TA49 is too aggressive for a mildly modified car. This wheel is not. This is my latest compressor design. This wheel has been in development now for just shy of 3 years in my shop. It is not specific to the Buick, but it works very well on the Buick platform. It's still too aggressive for stock fuel injectors unless you turn the boost basically down to 10 or 11 pounds. But this turbo works great with a stock torque converter. This turbo works very well with a stock camshaft. This turbo works excellent with E85, with Alky, with the boost turned up. It also works great on 93 and 15 pounds of boost and your basic mods. This guy here is going to be available in a stock appearing TA housing and also in my TE, which is the larger, and then also a 4-inch inlet TE, which will give you the highest amount of flow possible. This turbo is extremely happy at 350 to right at 400 horsepower. It walks circles around a TA49 in boost response, power per pound of boost, its ability to not heat soak, just check off all of the boxes all the way down the list. So this is the turbo that most of you guys that are entry level, that are not going to tear into your engine right off the bat, are going to want to talk about. This turbo will reach out a little bit further though. If you do go with a small camshaft, even a ported head, a little converter, stall converter in the car, this turbo will grow with you. I'm going to push this turbo pretty hard over the next year in some test cars. I feel like we can easily run low 11s on this compressor wheel efficiently. Yeah, I know your granddad's uncle's brother has ran 11s on a stock turbo. Do that 3 or 4 times in a row and get back with me, see how that worked out for you. The name of the game is efficiency, and the stock turbo, yes, we still service them. We keep parts for them, and they are great if you just want to keep your car stock. But if you want to grow and you want to take advantage of today's technology and efficiency, let's do some talking. All right. Turbine wheels. This is your T31 or T3 high flow. Like I said, comes in the TA49, the TA60, the TE44, TE60. This turbine wheel, it's been around a long time. It shares the same flaws that the cast TO4E 60 trim compressor wheel does. It worked great at the time, but it is not what you need to put in your modern day turbo. We're going to keep it around for the 49 and the 44. Oh, I want to hit on this on the 44 because I didn't mention it. If you have a TE44 and you're tired of compressor surge, all that light throttle bucking and just nonsense that the 44 does all day long, hit me up. We can, this wheel takes care of all of that. I did do just enough aero improvements on it to let it work at a pressure ratio that is not surge prone in the Buick world. So we fixed that issue there. All right. Back to exhaust wheels or turbine wheels. I've run off with mine. Here it is. So here is our new stage 3 turbine wheel. I'm not even going to call it a stage 3. This is our 9-bladed. It fits the geometry of a stage 3 wheel, so it drops in with no machine work needed. But this blade configuration is designed for 2 things: lower moment of inertia, so it's lighter; higher flow, it's got a thinner hub in the middle. It obviously has 1 less blade on it. and it is here to reduce exhaust manifold pressure, EMAP. Exhaust back pressure is the Buick's worst freaking enemy possible. This turbine wheel alone drops drive pressure or back pressure on the engine, which helps with cylinder evacuation, lowering combustion chamber temperatures, reducing detonation, reducing auto EGR, all of the negative things that the stock camshaft inflicts on the engine when you start trying to turn the boost up. If we were to take a stage 3 turbine wheel, the good old one, and put even our new GT series compressor wheel on it, this compressor wheel can put boost into the engine, no problem at all. But the engine has to spit it out, and it has to go through that. And if you cannot get the exhaust out of this turbine wheel efficiently, you are just shooting yourself in the foot with longevity. You're going to have problems with spark knock. You're going to have problems with cylinder temperatures. You're going to have problems with engine longevity. So if we're going to put the air in, we've got to get the air out. This wheel does that job perfectly. So we offer this wheel on all of our modern turbos. The TA49, this wheel does not work well for, so don't ask for it on it. But every other turbo is going to get this turbine wheel in it that's in this family. Doing this also helps me keep costs down because it saves me on shipping multiple items, and we can keep one part number in inventory. It helps keep production moving down the line really, really well. So that is our magic sauce for our rotor group that we've got, and we're excited about it. I'm excited about this compressor group. It's going to fill the void of a much needed turbo upgrade for y'all guys. The TA49, while it hung out and was happy and did what it needed to do, it's time for it to go away. This combo here is magic sauce. You notice I'm spinning it on a ball bearing cartridge. I do offer ball bearing turbos. I do offer them from the stock turbocharger all the way up to anything we need. I'm not going to get into the ball bearing debate right now, why it's better, why it's worse, why you need it, why you don't. Let's just say that 99.95% of you guys watching this video don't need to worry about a ball bearing. Journal bearing will fulfill your needs forever. My personal car, for 300,000+ miles, never had a ball bearing turbo on it. But if you feel like you need to talk about it, we can talk about it. All right. Like I said, this video, let me put you back where you can see me. This video is to cover Turbos 101 for my entry-level guys. And that's what I'm here to do, is to give you exactly what you need, nothing you don't. And I do have other options. I don't want to dilute this down with so many choices that it makes your head spin. It's already hard enough. I get it. So with everything we took away from the first part of this video is the TA49 is antiquated. We have the technology to utilize better stuff. So let's utilize it. The chip market has come so far. Eric Marshall at Turbo Tweaks got this down pat. I will help him any way, shape, or form I need to get tunes in for these guys. I'm going to drop him an email right after the first of the year. I'm going to get my friend Sparks' car in to do some R&D work on, and we'll get some dyno time, the chip refined, and I'm going to work with contacting Eric to make sure that we've got this guy. I don't have a name for him yet. I'm still thinking. I gotta come up with something that is equally as cool as TA49, but doesn't lead you astray into thinking you're just getting a revamped version of it. Cores and pricing. Here's the next big hard thing for me to talk about. For all of my sub 500 horsepower turbos, we need to work off of the Buick exhaust housing, the 0.63 AR stock Buick turbine housing. That's why I have to have a core. And the core has to be either a stock core or at most a TA49 or TE44. And it needs to be a genuine Garrett part, so not a Turbinetics, not a Precision. It's not that I don't want those cores, but the cold, hard truth is the Buick 0.63 housing is the turbine housing we need to make the magic happen if you have a conservative engine package. We know good cores are going to go away. It's inevitable at some point in time. I do my best to buy as many as I can. The ones that I have gotten recently, I've paid way too much money for, and the quality is absolutely atrocious. They've got broken studs in them. They've got blown up parts. They are the bottom of the barrel. But I do have a supply of turbine housings. We have gotten all the broken studs and hardware, and we have cleaned them and made them as nice as humanly possible. And we have a few that we can sell. They come at a cost. I have to have your core if you want the best responding turbo possible for that, let's just say, sub 500 horsepower goal. I am working on a new exhaust wheel aero, and that is going to allow me to use an aftermarket turbine housing. That aero is available in limited quantities right now, so if you don't have a core, talk to me. I'm here to help you out. I will either pull a core out of my stash and price it to you reasonably, or I will talk to you about your future upgrade path and what you're planning on doing with your car. I want you to be happy. I want you to get everything you need. I don't want you to go have to spend money where you don't need it right off. But if you're honest with me, I'll be honest with you, and we will make this whole package work out for you to the best of your advantage. Pricing. This is hard because it's business. It is all just cuts right down to that. I'm a family business, and the Buick market has grown into my family business. It's always been a part of it, but it is basically started to consume pretty close to half of my day-to-day activities are surrounding myself with a Buick Turbo. When I was doing this one or two every now and then, I could just work them into my schedule, and I did not have to. Yes, I need to make money, but the sentimental part of me said, man, these are my core customers. I got to take care of them. And yes, we tried to keep the prices as low as we possibly could. And you would think that as I do more and more of them, that the price could stay the same easier, but it actually can't. Over the past 6 months, I have timed myself from the interaction on email to telephone to getting your questions answered. I've tried to streamline as much of that as possible. And I'm a data-driven person. Everything I do is built off of data. I have been able to cut down my time a little bit, but the harsh reality of it is a Buick Turbo, from the time I start on it to the time I ship it out the door, to even some of the time considered after the sale with technical support and questions. I mean, I try to answer every question I can. Had a customer call me yesterday, about questions on his ECU GN and his vehicle speed sensor. I didn't sell him his ECU GN. I don't have a single dollar of profit built into that, but I spent some time on the phone with him, and I'll do it again. I don't mind it. But that time takes away from my time in the shop. So at some point, if I'm going to service the Buick community, I want to be able to help you guys succeed. I am not here to help you unless we are going to succeed. We're not going to fail. I'm not going to steer you down the wrong path. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything for you. I'm not going to leave you hanging out to dry. I'm going to help you. So the cost of my turbo is obviously the cost of the parts plus the time of labor plus a profit margin. As you know, today's world, everything's stupidly expensive. I mean, I literally paid $5 for a black coffee the other day in a drive-through of Dunkin' Donuts. I mean, I am like, it's coffee. This should not be $5, but that's the world we live in. The cars are gaining value. So I want to give you something that makes your car more desirable, more value. It has everything checked off the list it needs to. And that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to help you with it. So the price of my turbo not only reflects the somewhere between 10 to 15 hours worth of time it takes. And yeah, that's it. I mean, if I start at 8 o'clock in the morning to build a TA49, if I unbox a core, strip it down, clean it, balance it, machine it, blueprint it, if I do everything one step at a time, start to finish, it's going to be hard pressed for me to walk away that day in an 8-hour work day with that turbo build. It's possible, but it's got to be a perfect day. Most of the time, we are going to, when I tell you I'm a perfectionist and OCD on my turbo side of things, I'm not in everything else in my life. I am as laid back and chill. But when it comes to these guys here, there is zero room for substandard anything. And that's why I stand behind it 150%. I put my reputation out there every single day with every one of these that I build. And I want you guys to know that you are not getting some mass-produced part that, was built on an assembly line by somebody, that may or may not have a lot of experience building turbos. And it wasn't just chosen because it was easy or convenient. It's chosen and it's built because it's correct. And that is where the cost is at. It's as simple as it gets. If you don't have a core, or if money is an issue, if you're in a pinch, I know the Buicks, there's a lot of you guys that have had Buicks for 25 years, and they weren't expensive cars 25 years ago. And some of you are like me, you've got a family, you've got other obligations, but maybe this car is your only release. Maybe this is your place. I always have used parts. I always have resources that I can help you with. You let me know, and if you're got a special case, hit me up. You might not be able to get the latest, greatest of everything, but you know what? If we need to get your car back up and running, I'm here for you, and we're gonna help you within reason on all of that. With that being said, some prices on my website are going to go up. Some prices are going to go down. I fight every day with, people looking at my competitor stuff. And I'm going to just go on and say right off the bat that there's a place in this Buick market for HPT. There's a place in this Buick market for precision. There's a place in this Buick market for me. There's a place in this Buick market for your local turbo shop that, is going to rebuild something for you because you know Danny in the back that's worked there for 30 years and he rebuilds turbos and he can help. I'm trying to fill that niche void that nobody else fills. And that is the best street turbo possible for my street guys. I've got a lot coming for my high performance guys. We got some new things that are going to go off the deep end. So we're going to cover those in other videos. But this video is basically for, like I said, for the TA49 entry level customer, 1 click up and 2 clicks down from that. So your stock turbo to just under my 5857, which is this baby right here. And the 5857 is my successor to the TA49. And I've had this turbo out now for going on 5 years. It is phenomenal. But it is not phenomenal for a stock camshaft, stock torque converter car. It works great. It works better than a 49, but does it work better than my new wheel? Not for that lower power number. So like I said, we're going to wrap this up, but be honest with me on what you need, and I'm going to give you what you need. You be honest with me, your budget, what you got to work with, and what your future plans are, and we're going to make sure that you and your Buick, spend more time driving than more time sitting in the garage. Guys, I do have a full-time YouTube channel. There's not a lot of content on there, but I would love it if you were to go and subscribe to it and give it a thumbs up. You can also follow me at Work Turbo on Facebook and Instagram. Again, we're a small shop. Me, my brother, and my wife. I'm here by myself right now. My brother's not here yet. My wife is not here. My brother is... Without him, I couldn't get this done. Thank you so much, Wes. He works for me part-time, and my wife is busy doing, wife things around Christmas and taking care of our son and, doing all that stuff. But you can thank her for all the content on the website, all the pretty pictures, and for all your invoicing and bookkeeping and shipping information being correct. So, but with that, to wrap up, there's more coming. Follow me around on social media. I don't interact much on some of the forums. If you have a specific question, it's always quickest to message me. If you go to my website, workturbochargers.com, there's a contact us icon at the top in the menu bar. Fill that form out. I'll get back with you. Instagram and Messenger on Facebook and Instagram, that is also very fast for me, as well as will be this YouTube platform. Phone calls, I'm always down to talk on the telephone. Just be patient with me. Sometimes it may take me, I'm literally, while we've been talking, there are now 6 messages on my machine in this time that we've been talking. I'm blessed. I'm grateful, and I'm definitely thankful. We appreciate y'all guys, and I hope you took away something from this. Let's go make some boost. Happy holidays.